Taking a look at this week has to do with Lord of the Rings Online, and the news is that on June 5th, Warner Bros. And Turbine came out and said that the upcoming Riders of Rohan expansion will officially launch on September 5th. The update introduces mounted combat with new war steeds, adds an entirely new area to the game which is actually 3 times larger than Moria, and most importantly raised the game's level cap to 85. The expansion does have to be purchased though, as the game is going with the whole free to play but expansions cost money model. The video in the background is actually the official trailer for the upcoming Riders of Rohan expansion for the game. However, as you can see, there's no actual gameplay, but rather actual cinematic footage set in the Lord of the Rings universe. Not sure why they aren't showing any gameplay though. Next up, on June 5th, InnoGames announced a brand new browser-based MMO called Kartuga. The game is powered by the Unity 3D engine, and it focuses strongly on cooperative PvP gameplay. And again, it is on the browser and does feature 3D graphics. The game is set to launch sometime later this year with no exact date announced quite yet. I'd love to show you some actual gameplay video for InnoGames' latest title, but InnoGames only released these random screenshots for the game without an actual gameplay trailer. The game was announced at E3, and I actually expect some more E3 recap from Spunkify later in this week too. Gameplay wise, it does look a bit like Pirates of the Burning Sea, but except on the browser. Or even Sid Meier's Pirates, as it is a naval themed MMO. Up next, a bit of news from Frogster regarding the upcoming Runes of Magic Chapter 5 expansion, Fires of Shadowforge. On June 5th, Frogster released this latest cinematic trailer for its upcoming expansion, which is set to release on June 12th. The update adds a new race to the game, the Shadowforge Dwarves, plus 2 new classes, the Champion and the Warlock. Also including the update is a new starter zone as well as a new starter dungeon. Also included are 3 new higher level dungeons and zones. Once again, the update is set to launch on June 12th. And this is the official cinematic trailer for the upcoming expansion. Next up, on June 7th, Gravity Interactive, the company best known for creating Ragnarok Online, announced that the closed beta testing for their upcoming MMORPG Maestia will begin on June 14th. Now Maestia itself isn't exactly a new MMORPG. It used to be published by BigPoint, but now only published by Gravity. The game is fantasy themed, as you can obviously tell, and features instance dungeons and a small to large scale faction battles. The game was out for quite a while on BigPoint, but now it is launching through Gravity. And unlike the BigPoint version, this one will be available to people in North America. And apparently you can fight for glory. So yeah, it will feature faction battles. It is a bit odd though to see the game change publishers so many times. It went from BigPoint to Alaplaya, and now it is on Gravity. Well, that's it for my news, but as for games coming soon, we have one game to look at, and that is Brickforce. Brickforce, which is currently in VIP open beta, will be launching into its final open beta testing phase in the coming weeks. The final phase will be open to all players, so it's an actual open beta. The new beta will introduce a newly designed UI, as well as the build and destroy and defense game modes. Other game mechanics have also been rebalanced. The game is currently a client-based title as well, but a browser-based version of the game will be ready when the game enters final open beta testing in the coming weeks. As for games that recently launched, we have only one game to look at, and that is Warkeepers from NovaPlay. The game is officially translated into English on June 8th. Warkeepers is an MMO that is set in an alternative version of World War II. It's a multiplayer shooter with a top-down perspective. The only other top-down MMO shooter I can think of is Infantry from Sony Island Entertainment, which was actually a lot of fun, but that is an older title. Also worth mentioning is the game is client-based, not browser-based. Well guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I know Spunkify will be getting back to you guys later this week with more E3 news. One piece of E3 news which I really liked was Crytek actually announced that, well, you know, Crytek is a company behind Far Cry as well as Crysis. They came out and actually said that all future games they'll be developing will be free to play. Now this is a major Western company just coming out of nowhere and saying that everything they do from now on will be free to play. So hopefully this will become the norm in the future, as I've been saying for such a long time. Warface will actually be their first free to play game, and again, all future games that Crytek develops will be free to play, which I think is just awesome. Just hoping more companies follow Crytek's lead. Anyway guys, that's it for my news and announcements of the week ending June 10th, 2012. Now if you want to read about or learn more about any of the news mentioned in this video, simply head on over to MMOHut.com/news. And if you want to discuss anything in this video, simply head on over to MMOHut.com/forums. Anyway guys, this is Omer, signing